I just love being a clown because I love to laugh. I love to make people happy. There's a lot of kids that are afraid of clowns, but I'm not a scary clown.
Welcome to the Work Break podcast. I am your host, Christine, and I am here with a very special guest. I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Hi there, my name is Frannie the Clown, aka Sherryl Rawlins. I've been a clown for 28 years.
So Frannie, how would you describe your job in 3 words?
I would say it's fun, it's exciting, it's memorable, and I just love what I'm doing.
What was your first job?
My first job is I worked at Mission Bay Hospital in food service, and I just loved working with the hospital and the patients. It was just a fun job, and I was in food service, and I used to bring extra cookies to the different patients in the hospital.
Do you have like a favorite cookie recipe that you've made? Are you good in like chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip is my favorite.
Is that your jam?
Yes, that's my one and only cookie to go to.
What's the secret behind like making a good chocolate chip cookie?
Well, I'm not supposed to say anything. My husband over there, I don't want him to know what's in it. Yeah, it's secret. It's very
a secret. It's top secret. So what would you say are generally some misconceptions about your job that you think people have and think?
Oh, yes. They think my job is so easy. They have no idea. Here you go to work, and you only have one time to make it perfect. You only have that 1 hour or that only 2 hours because it can either make you or break you. Mm-hmm. So you've got to be on spot, the whole way.
Right, and just even like looking at Frannie in person, I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but her makeup and her whole outfit, head to toe, is the details, the attention to detail is unreal. Oh. And I'm sure that it takes some time too to get ready.
Oh, yes, it takes some time now because I make all my costumes and I always make sure they're bright and crisp. Always make sure my nails look nice, so when I'm face painting, everybody, because I'm a hands-on person.
Right.
And I just like everything picture perfect before I walk out the door.
Stunning.
And when I go out the door, I say, showtime.
She's so good, so good. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the nails, the makeup, and the makeup in person. It's so good. What advice would you have for your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to get that bucket list going because there's a lot of things to do in this world. And if you don't start early, you always say, I'm going to wait. And then you get older and things don't work like it used to. So I think I would do a little bit more if I was younger.
Well, just even speaking with you, I feel like you're just forever young.
Nope.
Forever young.
I'm an antique.
Forever young.
I'm worth something to somebody if somebody's buying.
So who or what inspired you to be a clown or go into the entertainment industry at all?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was in school, I was always the class clown, getting in trouble. Not bad trouble, but, sometimes. Yeah. So I figured, well, hey, I might as well get paid for it if I'm going to be funny.
Right.
It's like, hey, don't waste it,
Did you go to school in San Diego?
Yes.
Where did you go by chance?
I went to Marston Junior High, Claremont High School.
You're kidding.
In Claremont, yes.
We're in your neighborhood now. That's such a full circle moment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I have no doubt in my mind that your younger self is so proud of you. Oh. Where do you see your profession or your industry, the clown industry, within the next 10 years?
Well, to be honest with you, I think the clown business is kind of like it going out because of all the new generation things that are coming in. Mm-hmm. Like kids are on their iPhones or cell phones.
Right.
And we don't have Barnum and Bailey's or Ringling Brothers anymore. More face painting will be out there more than clowning, I think, because clowning is more old school than new school. So
we got to bring the clown industry back.
Yes,
that's what we got to do.
We do, because they have Circus Olay and they have Circus Vargas that comes to town.
Right.
But that's the only real, and the real circus is more Circus Vargas versus Circus Soleil because it's more acrobats and things like that.
I'm sure too, and we'll talk about this a little bit later too, people recognize the impact that it's had on their lives.
Yes.
And they carry these memories with them forever. So it's something that I think deserves more recognition and also deserves more attention towards it. You know?
Yes.
It's nice to have somebody there to uplift your spirits, especially if you're going through a difficult time or, you know, you're celebrating with family, with friends. Having somebody there as an entertainer, such as a clown, is so essential to bringing that love, that joy.
We all need laughter.
We do.
You know, and the world is so, you know, the world is a little crazy right now.
Yes, so true.
I'm just saying.
Yes, 100%. So if you were not a professional clown, what would you be?
Ooh, what would I be? A comedian.
Ooh, like stand-up comedian?
Try to do that.
Ooh, that's really fun. That sounds really
Yeah.
fun. Funny enough, that's my next thing too. I really want to interview a comedian.
I'll get
because
you
it's
one.
Also, oh,
I already had that in the back of my head.
Frannie is so well connected
Oh.
too. I'm so amazed. What changes would you make to your profession, if any?
You know, I don't think I would change anything because, you know, once you've mastered what you're doing, you know, it only works if you work it.
That's a good answer. This is like a Miss America. Miss America.
I don't know about that.
I know. I'm like, that's a great answer. Let me write that down. For anybody who is interested in being a professional clown or wants to get into the profession, what advice do you have for them?
Oh boy. Let's see. Well, you have to be funny. You have to be happy. You have to be positive. You have to give up all your weekends and your holidays. So if you think you can be those, come see me and I'll sign you up.
And also too, this is something that we talked about off camera, but you used to work at a clown school, or you'd be an instructor for clowns, is that correct? What was that like being
Oh, that was a lot of fun, you know, just to see, you know, their little faces and try to get a name, what their name is going to be, what their character was going to be like. So we have to work on their mannerism of how they're going to be as a clown. There's different types of clowns you can be. You can be a hobo. You can be all kinds of different things. So you just have to know what direction you want to go into.
I'm like, I wonder what kind of clown I'd be. What would you say is the most fulfilling part about being a clown?
I just love being a clown because I love to laugh. I love to make people happy. You know, and when I'm painting their faces, it might not be the best face painting, but I guarantee you what makes me feel happy is when you see that smile. When you see that smile on the child's face, you know you've done something right.
I saw too on your Instagram, which by the way, you gotta follow Frannie the Clown on Instagram. I'll put her link right here. But I saw, do you also do balloon animals?
Oh, I do balloon animals.
That is so cool.
I do, you know, hearts, flowers. I do puppy dog swords. You know, I do hats. I do all kinds of just cool stuff.
How did you learn to do that? Was it just freestyling
Oh,
it? Or?
boy. Oh, man. That was a class I'll never forget. There was like 50 of us in one class learning how to make balloons. And I conquered those balloons that same night because I was not going back. Oh, it was so loud, all the popping,
The popping, yeah.
But I will tell you, there's a secret of tying the balloons. Either, you know, you have to tie it a certain way, and then you have to have only a certain amount of air in that balloon or it will pop.
So there's like kind of like a science to it almost.
Yes,
like there's a whole
absolutely,
method.
yeah.
It's one of those things that, you know, seeing other clowns do it or entertainers in general, you guys make it look so easy. And then when it comes time for us to actually try it, it's like the whole method. So
and I used to make balloons behind my head. My wig got caught in it, and I didn't want my wig to fall off, so I quit. I stopped making them behind my head. You know, how can you do that behind your head? You know, but I was doing it.
Wow, that's impressive. So you can do it with your eyes closed, basically.
Yes.
Like any moments that come to mind that are a little bit wacky or crazy that stick in your mind.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness. I was doing a birthday party for a 105-year-old woman. Okay, and I got at the head of the table where the cake is, and the cake had 105 candles on the cake. And then they started lighting the candles. And the lady looked over at me. She goes, I'm scared. And I said, why? And she says, I think I'm going to drop my teeth. I said, well, give them to me. I'll hold them for you.
Oh my God.
And she laughed so hard they fell on her cake.
You're kidding. Oh my goodness. I mean, to even make it 105.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And she still had it. She was
still sharp. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
That was one of the convalescent homes that I used to do. I used to do so many before COVID.
Just the fact that you're bringing all this joy to people in like nursing homes or people that need that the most that warms my heart. Have you ever had to deal with like kids or people or adults that have phobia of clowns?
Well, there's a lot of kids that are afraid of clowns because the babysitters and the parents let them watch scary movies, okay? But I'm not a scary clown, okay? And what they do is I said, I know you're afraid of me, so just watch me in action, okay? So what they'll do is I'll have them stand off to the side and watch what I do. And then, like I went to a birthday party the other day and this little boy was like losing it, you know? I'm thinking, oh no, it's the birthday child. What am I gonna do with this party, you know?
Oh my goodness.
And the mother says, he's really afraid. And I said, you know what, just give me a few minutes with him and he'll be okay, you know? But he was scared to death, you know? He was literally shaking. But before I left, that boy had 18 paintings on him. And I'm not kidding about the number because that's a true statement. He had them on his face. He had them on he took his shirt off and I had the snakes and the spiders and the skeletons on his chest. He turned around and I had him on his back. I had him on his arms. I had him on his legs. And he was walking around.
He's all happy.
And his mother came over and she says, oh my God, Frannie. I don't know what you did to him, but he was as happy as a clam. You know, he was going around to all the family members and just showing off how cute he looked. And that's just what makes your heart just.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. Yeah. And just witnessing it, it's like the fact that you were able to take him from fear to excitement and joy.
And 18 paintings. Amazing. I told his mom, I said, count those paintings. Look at this kid.
Wow.
Because you know what he said?
What did he say?
I told him. I said, oh boy. He said, what? And I said, oh, your mama's going to have a ring around the bathtub tonight from all the paint, right? And so he runs over and tells Mama, he says, Mama, Frannie says, I'm going to have a ring around the bathtub. So he comes running back to me and he says, Frannie, I have to take a bath at your house tonight. I said, why? He said, Mama doesn't want me to have a ring around my bathtub. And I went, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
How funny is that? I mean, you would have never expected someone to come back and tell you that.
And I'm sure, again, those memories, they're going to stay with him for how.
Stay with him, they're staying with me.
What would you say are some pros and cons to your job? Are there any like cons that come to mind?
The pros, I love it. I love what I do. I love the excitement. I love to see the faces on the children, the parents, the grandparents, you know. Then when the grandparents come over, the pros we're talking about is they want to get painted. Oh. You know, and I paint like shoulders and arms and legs and, you know, depending on the generation, the teenagers, a lot of times they'll want me to put their names on their arms or their boyfriend's names.
Oh, that's
which is really cool, you know. And then I'll do like, one time I was in Old Town and a whole volleyball team came by and I painted all their legs and they were like walking around Old Town and they're going, where'd you get that painting? Oh, Frannie did it over there, you know. Okay, the bad part is sometimes when the kids, you know, they kind of like heckle the clown a little bit, you know.
Oh.
And but again, I got quick wit. I turn it around. I don't let that happen.
The strength comes out. Yeah, the strong-willed.
And I do it in a nice way, so they don't realize, you know, like I'm turning them around.
Yeah. How long would you say it takes you to get ready for an event?
Well, when I was younger, about 15 minutes now.
Oh.
It takes about 45 minutes.
45
Yeah,
minutes?
about
Wow,
45
that's still
minutes
pretty
now.
good. That's still pretty
Yeah.
good. I love your look. It's reminding me of like Dolly Parton. Like I love the big hair and it's so cute. I want a wig.
How do you like me now?
Okay, second to last question before we go to your fortune cookie. So are there any favorite memories or moments for you?
Oh, yes, I got a great one.
Yeah.
Oh, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I was at a big Asian event down in Chula Vista. There was like the 47th annual Filipino thing or something going on.
Oh, that's funny. That's my people. Yeah.
That's your people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm down there and I'm painting the children's faces, and all of a sudden this young, good-looking, sorry, honey, young, good-looking.
Not as good looking as you.
He was like, no, he was really good-looking. No offense, no. I'm just saying.
Cut the cameras.
So he was watching me, and you know when someone's looking at you, you know when someone's checking you out. And I said, all this. And he comes walking over, and he whispers in my ear, and he says, are you Frannie the Clown? And I said, well, yes, I am. He said, I've been looking for you for years. And I said, oh, really? Oh, really, right? And he says, you did my birthday when I was 6 years old. I said, oh, Lordy, how old are you? He says, I'm 26. And I said, oh, wow, I'm not that old. No. And so he said, oh, now that I found you, he says, I got to find a woman. I got to get married. And he says, got to have a baby. And I have you for my baby's first birthday before you retire. And I'm going, oh, how sweet. I said, well, you better hurry up.
The clock is ticking. Oh, I love that. I think that's a huge thing to just how much of an impact, just the memories.
Oh, and I got even better. I got home, and on my email, it was a picture of him and I on his sixth birthday, and then him and I at the big event.
You're kidding. So there's like a
No.
before and after?
Yes.
That is such a full circle moment.
And it just, oh, God.
Oh.
I don't know, children, they just, the kids, I just love them.
Oh, and I'm sure that they love you too. Like that's amazing. 20 years later, that's insane. And what are the odds that you would bump into him?
Yeah.
Again. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
And
love
what were
that.
the odds of getting home and finding it on your email that he had sent a picture of both of us?
Right. What are the
he
odds?
saved it.
Wow.
That's
incredible.
And I gave him this ball that had a smiley face on it. He had that too. Wow. He says, I still have it.
If anybody here knows Frannie the Clown or has any more photos with her, please send them to mail@frannietheclown.com.
Yeah.
Send them her way.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And last question before we get to your fortune cookie question.
Uh-oh.
So what's next for you? What's in the future for Frannie the Clown?
Getting a hip replacement.
You're staying hip.
Hey, I'm a hipster, all right. So I told the doctor, I said, Doc, you got to fix this hip. But every time we try to, plan on getting it done, that another birthday party comes up. And they keep telling me, Frannie, you've got to be at my party, and that's why it's been 11 years I've needed a hip replacement and haven't had one.
Oh, my goodness.
11 years. And it's like bone on bone. It's like, oh no.
It's a lot.
So, God, please let me get it done this year.
Yes. Okay, well, Frannie, I have one last question for you. We have fortune cookies for you, and you can pick one. Within the fortune cookie is a question just about life, about something random. So I'll go ahead and have you pick the first one. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
And then you open it up. That one's a little crisp. You don't have to eat.
Boy, who cooked these?
It's a little burnt.
I'm
not a baker. What's a hidden talent you have that most people don't know about?
I'm a flirt. My husband knows that, he's my one and only, But if I see a good-looking man, oh, Lord Jesus, because, I would never leave him. I finally got the right one this time.
Oh, I love that. Well, Frannie, Well, I want to say thank you so much for even stopping by and taking the time. Thank you for watching the Work Break podcast. Thank you, Frannie.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my
Be
goodness.
sure to follow Frannie on Instagram. I'll leave all of her information down below, and we'll see you at the next episode.
Thank you.